You know, there was a time when, in the past, when I came close, probably closest that I've ever come to breaking free of my cocoon, if you want to call it that. What I'm in right now is my cocoon. And I was close to breaking free. Because I've been doing this for years. This isn't just an overnight endeavor. And you'll know the time that I'm speaking of, because the reason I didn't break free of my cocoon was because the devil. Remember when the Buffalo Bill guy had a heart attack on the field? I don't know his name. That's why I said the Buffalo Bill guy, player. And he had a heart attack on the field or something from being tackled or something. I don't know. And there was this great, it was a week's worth of news. I mean, I swear, the whole week, every news story was about this freaking guy and his heart attack. You know, he was in the hospital. And I don't know if he went into a coma or something, but they brought out the family. They were praising him. You know, he was the greatest thing from sliced bread, and he wasn't. And I was like, I knew why it was happening at the time, but you know, it was just because the news, you know, the way the news operates, they can only operate with one story at a time. You know, they can't, two stories at a time, they don't handle two stories at a time, you know, it just doesn't happen, you know. So this is the devil's way of sucking the oxygen out of the room, out of my room, and putting it in his, and stopping me from breaking free of my cocoon, you know. And you can tell that that's what it was, because it was a football player that had a heart attack from being tackled or something. I don't even know. But and he's fine today, and I think he's still playing football. You know, so it took him a while to recover, but you know, he's back to normal again now. And it was no big deal. I mean, yeah, he almost died, but he didn't. You know, so I mean, I didn't see the story there, but it's just the way the devil does things, you know. He just sucks the oxygen out of the room. Because believe me, the devil, the last thing the devil wants to do is, once I'm free of my cocoon, I never go back into it again. Ever, ever, and ever. And I will be, I don't want to say I'll be a butterfly, or a moth, but I'll be something that attacks the devil on a daily basis. And openly, you know, on the news every day, attacking the devil. And you've seen how I do it here on this platform. You know, I attack the devil, attack the mob, I attack MS-13, I attack the government, I attack Russia, I attack China. They're all the devil. Everything I just mentioned was the devil, and that's the devil's powerhouse. You know, the devil's restaurants, the devil's gambling houses. And you don't want that. Believe me, you don't want that. You know, and that's why he's doing what he can to stop me from breaking free from the cocoon. You know, but there's only so much you can do. You know, because the good people of the world, the ones that aren't run by the devil, they know what I'm doing. They want me to do what I'm doing, and they want me to come out. They want me to break free of my cocoon, and they're helping me in their own way. They need to help more, but they're helping me, and you know, I would say it's a good thing I didn't come out when the Buffalo Bill guy was, because I wasn't ready. And a good portion of that story was God and not the devil, and God just keeping me under wraps, saying, "You're not ready yet, son. You know, you gotta, you still got a little growing to go. Because the cocoon is your home right now, and you're not done growing in there. And when you are, we'll let you out." You know, and I know he'll let me out. You know, but I'm not gonna stay in it forever. I can promise you that. You know, so. And if you think the news story that's gonna break, that you could predict what that news story is gonna be, I mean, I don't know. Nobody predicted Hinckley when he shot Reagan, and you know, that was out of the blue. That motherfucker came out of nowhere and she blew away all those people. I'm not gonna assassinate Trump or anything. I'm not gonna assassinate anybody, but I'm gonna come out in that way. It's gonna be like from nowhere. I'm like, holy shit, where'd you come from? You know, it's like, but I'm not going down as mentally ill like Hinckley. You know, 'cause it's not gonna be that way either. Now, sure, they're gonna try that because it's part of my history. They're gonna pull that card. Of course, they're gonna. You can expect it. If you don't expect it, you're stupid. You're mentally ill. You know they're gonna pull that card, and I have to just transcend it. You know, and I don't have to worry. I really don't have to do anything because God's gonna do it all. You know, and they're gonna see the mental illness as a defense more than an actual diagnosis. You know, and they're gonna see it for what it is, and that's real bullshit. And they're gonna be mad at the people that did it, because now they're gonna look at all the mentally ill people and say, well, how many other people that we call mentally ill aren't? You know, so it's gonna put the doctors, the hospitals, the insurance companies, all in the spotlight. You know, for all the bullshit they pull, and you know, they deserve it. They deserve every little bit of it, and I'm gonna put it on them as much as I can. You know, but not so much. You know, I'm not. It's not going to be a revenge story. It's just, you can just know that when I come out, that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to say. He's mentally ill. Don't listen to him. And that's what they've been saying ever since I did come out. And then why wouldn't they play the same playbook? They've been winning with that playbook, so it'd be foolish not to play it again. But hopefully, because God's behind me, you know, it won't work. It won't work. You know, the playbook only works for so long, you know. And it doesn't work on me, and I know that. So, you know, there was a time they had me convinced I was mentally ill. And I go, maybe I am, you know. But they gave me the medication that makes you feel mentally ill. And the way they give you the medication is you're on it for life. So you can never know that it was the medication that was making you ill in the first place. So, because you're never allowed to go off the medication to find out you're fine, and you're better off without it. You know, it's like heart medication, you know, which I'm supposed to be on. You know, I've lived since March without heart medication. I'm supposed to be dead in March, and I'm still alive. So, you know, I found that heart medication is a bunch of crapola. You know, so. But most people won't take that chance, you know, because when they give you the heart medication, they tell you, if you don't take this, you die. You know, so how many people are going to go, oh, well, I don't want it. You know, I don't want it. You keep it. Nobody does that. I did, but nobody does that. So. It's all crap. It's all money. Money. And that's what I am. I ruin their money scheme. I ruin their money system. Blow it up in their face, like the market. The stock market's full of a bunch of crap. You know, they make up those numbers as they go. So they literally wake up in the morning, like, what are we going to make the number today? You know, are we going to go up today or are we going to go up tomorrow? You know, and the news stories help them in which direction they go. You know, if there's a bad oil story in a country with oil, you know, all of a sudden oil prices go up, you know, stuff like that. So it's not... They have to have a justification for their numbers, you know. And they find one and they do it, you know. But that's what it is.